السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا بكم طلبة وطالبات الصف الثالث الثانوي. النهاردة هنكمل مع بعض بالجزء الخاص بالفوكاب. احنا اتعرفنا في الفيديو اللي فات على أهم الكلمات والملاحظات اللغوية اللي موجودة في المنهج بتاعنا، والنهاردة هنحل أسئلة على الفوكاب. عندنا أكثر من 300 جملة إن شاء الله هتكون وافية وشاملة للمنهج كله. يلا بينا نبدأ مراجعة. Number 1, Ali, as well as his friends, clever plans, you can depend on them. طبعا عندي هنا as well as هي تربط ما بين Ali and his friends، واحنا عارفين ان as well as الفعل اللي هو بيجي وراها بيتبع الفعل الأول، فالفعل الأول هنا هو مفرد، يبقى طبعا أنا هاخد فعل بالاسم لأن لا هينفع لا do ولا make. طيب تيجي بقى كلمة plan، هتاخد do ولا تاخد make؟ طبعا هتاخد ايه؟ هتاخد make. يبقى Ali as well as his friends makes clever plans. Number 2, May promised me to her best in her next exam. طبعا to followed by infinitive verb، كلمة best بتاخد verb do، يبقى to do her best. He was a strong in the power of books and supported many young writers. يبقى طبعا هنا strong ده صفة يبقى وراها noun، والnoun هنا هو ايه؟ very good is believe. طبعا هنا believe اللي هو الإيمان، فمش هيبقى مش هنقول ان هو strong إيمان، هو إيمان قوي، لا هو مؤمن قوي. when you get something wrong لما تخطئ في شيء it can shake your ايه in yourself. it can shake your belief، يعني هتهز إيمانك بنفسك، ولا your believer believes. طبعا your belief اللي هو الإيمان، لكن طبعا عندي هنا ده believe اللي هي الverb. here unexpected visit made us، يعني زيارتها المفاجأة made us confused confusion confusing. طبعا the answer is confused، يبقى خليتنا مرتبطين لأن ده هي الادجective. is it to tip hairdressers in this country؟ طبعا ان to tip يعني ان انت تدي بقشيش، هو بيقول لي to choose two answers يعني هنختار ايه؟ اجابتين. يبقى is it طبعا accustomed، is it accustomed، والإجابة التانية هتبقى ايه؟ customary اللي هي شيء معتاد عليه. we on the high standards of cleanliness in this topic. طبعا ال high standard of cleanliness اللي هي على درجات النظافة. يبقى we insult insist persist. طبعا عندي هنا insist و persist الاثنين بمعنى يصر على، لكن انا عندي هنا on، يبقى هتاخد معايا ايه؟ insist on. I Cairo University، يبقى I graduated of ولا graduated from؟ graduated in. طبعا الانسر تبقى I graduated from يعني انا متخرج او تخرجت من جامعة القاهرة. طبعا graduate from يبقى انا كان لازم عندي هنا يبقى فيه ايه؟ I am، يبقى I am a graduate from. Number 9, we accept graduates Cambridge University، يبقى we accept graduates of Cambridge University، يبقى بنقبل خريجي جامعة كامبريدج. while I was walking I met boy، طبعا عندنا 10 year، وطبعا الانسر تبقى 10 year boy لان طبعا boy هنا ايه؟ مفرد، وطبعا هنا year بتيجي مفرد لان هنا تعتبر العبارة كلها صفة للبوي. he was one of the in opening up archaeology to everyone، يبقى he was one of the eight، هو واحد من، يبقى أنا عايزة هنا noun. of the pioneering، طبعا pioneering is adjective، pioneers inventors، يبقى he was one of the eight، يبقى طبعا of the pioneers. the government shouldn't let anyone in public place. طبعا let someone يبقى وراها infinitive ايه؟ infinitive verb. يبقى let anyone smoke. The government shouldn't allow anyone in public place. allow يبقى هنا هتتبعها to infinitive يبقى ايه shouldn't allow anyone to smoke. The government shouldn't allow in public places. طب هنا shouldn't allow smoke to smoke smoking. يبقى هنا allow someone هيتبعها to infinitive لكن allow لما يجي verb على طول هيجي في ال ing form. يبقى the government shouldn't allow smoking. My grandfather is wise. He has different in life. يبقى طبعا خبرات الحياة اللي هي الايه experiences. The Ministry of Education adopted a new strategy to the educational system. يبقى اللي هو وزير التعليم ايه عمل يعني اطلق او كيف استراتيجيات جديدة طبعا النهوض بالتعليم. يبقى to delay, delete, envelop, develop. وطبعا الانسر is to develop. 27 I finally met with her in Paris. sorry ما نشأ نفس السؤال. Number 28 don't underestimate the of good presentation. don't underestimate يعني ما تسخفش او تقلل من قدر ال good presentation اللي هو التقديم الجيد. يبقى don't underestimate the different importance. يبقى underestimate the importance of good presentation. With a little from his parents he should do well. يبقى with a little encouragement يعني بقليل من من أهم من والديه المفروض ان هو يبقى يحل كويس. يبقى اللي هي encouragement اللي هي التشجيع encouraging اللي هو طبعا تشجيع اللي هو الفيرب encourage يشجع discourage اللي هي يعني ما يشجعوش او يحبط. يبقى طبعا a little encouragement. The doctor recommended his patient up smoking or he will suffer more. يبقى recommended his patient gives to give. The doctor recommended his patient up smoking or he will suffer more. يبقى recommended his patient to give up smoking. The doctor recommended that he up smoking or he will suffer more. هنا the doctor recommended that he يعني أوصى إن هو يبقى هنا بعد recommended لما بيجي وراها that بيتبعها هي مع infinitive verb يبقى that he give up smoking. She had to help her husband. He's working in his shop. Choose two answers. يبقى she had to help يعني كان لازم تساعد زوجها. He's working in the hospital in the shop. يبقى done, do, to do, doing or did. طبعا help someone يا إما بيجي وراء infinitive يا إما بيجي وراء to plus infinitive. Both parents are equally for raising the children. Are equally responsibly, irresponsible. يبقى طبعا both parents يعني كلا الوالدين are equally طبعا responsible for يعني هما الاثنين مسؤولين عن تربية الأطفال. He had just joined Alex university staff. He will choose two answers. He will a lecturer, be a lecturer, be lecturer, give lecture, give lectures. طبعا عايز برضه مني إجابتين. هنا أنا عندي will يبقى يا إما هيتبعها هيتبعها verb infinitive. يبقى أنا يبقى مش هتنفع ولا ماشي. يبقى رقم دي مستبعدة خالص. يبقى he will be a lecturer طبعا lecturer اللي هو المحاضر ولا be lecturer طبعا الجوب لازم يتحط قبلها be يبقى يتحط قبلها فهي طبعا he will be على a lecturer. الإجابة الثانية he will give lectures. هيدي محاضرات، مش هيدي محاضرة واحدة، يبقى هيدي ايه؟ محاضرات. رقم 35 it is a great to represent my country at the Olympics. يبقى it's a great ايه؟ a great honor اللي هو شرف ان انا امثل بلدي في الايه؟ في الاولمبياد. The charity a survey of people's attitude to the disabled. Choose the wrong. يعني عايزة اطلع الاجابة الخطأ. طبعا كلمة survey تاخد معاها فعل carried out، تاخد معاها فعل conduct، تاخد معاها فعل did، يبقى wrong one هي فعل made. All my teachers encourage you. All my teachers encourage you to something of yourself. يبقى to ايه؟ طبعا to do to get, take, make or do something of yourself، يعني تعمل حاجة لنفسك. يبقى to do something of yourself. Number 38. You might find it to consult a financial advisor. You might find it يعني ممكن تلاقي الوضع ايه؟ unworthy يعني غير مش مستحق يعني، أو worthless worthwhile. To consult a financial advisor ان انت تستشير يعني مستشار ايه؟ مالي. طبعا زي ما قلنا unworthy يعني غير جدير بالاهتمام او مش لازم يعني او لا يستحق. worthlessness يعني تفاهة. worthless يعني عظيم الفايدة. طبعا worthwhile جدير بالايه؟ بالاحترام او ان هو جدير ان هو ياخد يعني بالاعتبار. فهنا طبعا الانسر هتبقى ايه؟ worthwhile. After heavy rain بعد المطر الغزير there is always a of mud on the road to our town. يبقى في هنا المد طبعا اللي هو الطمي. يبقى there is always يعني دايما بيكون في a level او roof layer طبعا layer of mud اللي هي طبعا من الطين. A good teacher should his or her students in a fatherly way. Depress يعني طبعا depress يعني يحبط. Discipline يعني يعمل انضباط للطلبة بتوعه. Create يعني يخلق. Illuminate يعني يوجد أو ينبع أو يوضح شيء. هنا طبعا discipline. The verb influence is a synonym for. يبقى هو synonym لكلمة ايه؟ طبعا السينونيم اللي هو الايه؟ اللي هو المرادف. يبقى كلمة influence اللي هو يؤثر يبقى is ايه؟ a synonym of affect. عبد التواب يوسف set up the children's cultural in 1968. Company, orphanage, nursery, association. يبقى طبعا هنا answer هنا هتبقى ايه؟ association. يبقى عبد التواب يوسف set up the children's cultural association in 1968. My grandfather is wise يعني دي ايه؟ رجل حكيم. He has a way to solve difficult problem يعني عنده ايه؟ طريقة ايه؟ يبقى عشان يحل المشاكل طبعا sensible way. The boys showed a complete lack of يعني الولاد أظهروا نقص كامل أو تام في ايه؟ من ايه؟ for authority اللي هي السلطة. respectful respected respect طبعا هنا هو تعليق of ايه؟ of respect يعني قلة احترام. Number 45. Charles Dickens was widely as a novelist the world enjoyed his works. طبعا يبقى was widely respected طبعا نوات عشان هو محترمين سبب أعماله. They are well behaved children who come from a family يبقى they come from a respectable family. Production standard اللي هي معدلات الإنتاج are high و are impressively high. The company is very of my effort يبقى is very طبعا appreciated يعني بتقدر مجهودي. Mr. Adderley is friendly يعني هو رجل ودود but sometimes in certain situations في بعض المواقف when he wants to silence his students يعني يحب يسكت الايه الطلبة to enable them to concentrate well. يبقى طبعا هنا ايه strict يعني ايه صارم. There is no doubt that Jane is for the job. She is very efficient يعني هي cook. يبقى طبعا suitable for suitable يعني ايه مناسب. Remember to take all your possession طبعا هي الممتلكات with you when you leave the aircraft لما تترك الطائرة. يبقى طبعا personal possession. Before you can fly alone قبل ما تقدر تطير بمفردك you need to have a pilot's طبعا license. اللايسنس طبعا هي الايه الرخصة. دكتور عائشة عبد الرحمن for a good education for girls at that time. طبعا ان هو هي نادت او كافحت من اجل تعليم البنات ودي طبعا هي argued for. Number 63 Dr. Ahmad Khalef was Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1999 طبعا was awarded وطبعا awarded هي طبعا كفرب ل award كفرب وايه ونعم. I got an email from my friend this morning يعني استلمت ايميل من صديقي هذا الصباح. يبقى هنا got here means يعني كلمة got هنا معناها ايه؟ يبقى طبعا معناها receive. One of the sides of the computer is that it saves the time and effort يعني أحد الايه الجوانب الايه من الكمبيوتر إن هي بيوفر الوقت والجهد. يبقى طبعا ده البوزيتيف سايدز. We should direct more and more attention to the profession after the coronavirus pandemic. طبعا اللي هو مهنة التمريض والتمريض يعني ايه nurse. He disappeared in a mountainous area near the Red Sea. طبعا اختفى في منطقة جبلية قرب ايه طبعا ساحل البحر الأحمر وده اللي هو الكوست. What do you think made them their promise؟ طبعا make مع الأوبجكت بيجي وراه infinitive verb يبقى break their promise. The tourists left the port and went for the afternoon. يبقى طبعا غادروا القارب يبقى went ايه ashore يعني نزلوا على الشط. Number 70 The police are desperate to catch this man dead or البوليس عايز هيجيب الراجل ده حي او ميت او طبعا حي على حي. It is a story of love and friendship. Removal طبعا هي moving story يعني فيها emotion عالية يعني. Dr. فاروق الباز is a highly space scientist and geologist. He has made a lot of scientific achievement. يبقى is highly respected. طبعا إنه محترم بسبب أعماله. I find this music deeply it caused strong feeling of sadness or sympathy. يبقى challenging. It's in America to eat turkey in Thanksgiving Day. طبعا هو بيقول لي not to choose two answers. يبقى it's a tradition هو تقليد أو it is traditional. I ran 10 kilometers yesterday and now my legs يبقى جريت 10 كيلو ودلوقتي رجلي ايه طبعا اللي هي بمعنى تؤلم. الضيفي hired another secretary to Barbara's workload يبقى عشان يخفف طبعا على حمل العمل يبقى to lighten. Each exercise on a different grammar point يبقى focuses on بمعنى بيركز على. Now I can walk to work of going by car insist inside طبعا هنا instead of يعني بدلا من. He is a clever student and he never school rules. هو clever student يبقى he never breaks school rules. Don't the traffic law or you will have to pay a fine. هتدفع غرامة. يبقى طبعا don't break برضو the traffic rule. The film I watched yesterday was it made me feel strong emotion، يعني خلى عندي مشاعر قوية، يبقى was moving يعني محرك للمشاعر. The hall was so crowded، الصالة كانت مزدحمة، that I felt I would، أنا حسيت إن أنا felt طبعا I will faint، وفهمت هنا بمعنى يفقد الوعي. Amazingly a 500-year-old tree، يعني شجرة عمرها 500 سنة is still in California، يبقى طبعا is still alive. A successful person never leaves vain، طبعا vain يعني بلا جدوى. he always has goals to achieve، دايما عنده هدف لتحقيقه، يبقى طبعا leaves in vain. I have got 1 or 2 muscles after yesterday's match، بعد ماتش امبارح. I am too tired to walk، يبقى طبعا عندي هنا ايه aching muscles، يعني بتؤلم يعني. civilized people هو الناس المتحضرة find it easy to rules، يعني بيجد سهولة في ان هو ايه طبعا follow rules. who is going to do the companies after Mr. Adel has retired؟ accountants counters طبعا اللي هي accountants اللي هي الحسابات. you should a proper revision plan before final exam، طبعا البلان بتاخد معها verb ايه verb make، يبقى you should make a proper revision plan before final exam. I usually get up early, pray, have breakfast and go to school. This is my routine. I always follow it. ده الروتين بتاعي. يبقى is changeable يعني متغير، regular، gradual، removable، طبعا هو regular routine اللي هو الروتين المنتظم بتاعي أو المتكرر. I need to consult a doctor، محتاج إن أنا استشير دكتور. I from a severe headache، يعني عندي صداع رهيب، يبقى طبعا I suffer from يعني يعاني من. I prefer work as I usually choose what to do and when to do it، يعني أنا بختار دايما اللي أنا بعمله وإمتى أعمله، يبقى طبعا عندنا freelancer، regular، fixed، freelance. طبعا عندنا ده الفريلانس work اللي هو العمل اللي هو الحر، طبعا لأن freelancer ده اللي هو النون. we take on a number of university graduates each year to give them some work and help them acquire experience، يبقى بناخد بعض الخريجين من الجامعة، خارجين الجامعة كل سنة عشان نديهم فرصة ان هم يشتغلوا ويساعدهم ان هم يكتسبوا الخبرة. take on هنا معناها ايه؟ take on here means remove، dismiss، employ، fire، طبعا المعنى هو إظهار. the government is going to a campaign طبعا اللي هي الحملة against bullying ضد التنمر everywhere. we need to keep security and safety، يعني احنا عايزين نحافظ على الأمان والخصوصية، يبقى طبعا هو هتبقى launch a campaign يعني تطلق حملة. Number 94. The rich should help the poor people who suffer from food، يبقى الأغنياء لازم يساعدوا الفقراء اللي بيعانوا من. طبعا عندي نوت ليك ده التسرب a lot plenty lake of food، وطبعا هي الليك of food اللي هو نقص الطعام. my brother is wise، يبقى my brother is wise enough يعني حكيم كفاية to get out of situation، يبقى طبعا of stressful situation أو اللي هي المواقف اللي هي كثيرة الضغط. don't her heart she will get frustrated، طبعا don't break her heart يعني ما تكسرش قلبها. Jana prefers having meals to fish، having meat to not fish، يبقى طبعا to having fish. I'd rather with my friend، طبعا I'd rather بيتبعها infinitive يبقى I'd rather stay. The company in my town closed last week having 40 people، طبعا الكمباني الشركة قفلت، طبعا تركت 40 شخص ايه طبعا unemployed يعني غير موظفين او عاطلين. to remain عشان تبقى ايه you need to improve your skills and gain new ones، ان انت لازم تحسن السكيلز بتاعتك وكمان تحصل على مهارات جديدة. طبعا to remain employable. Our marriage began too wrong after we had our first child. يبقى طبعا began to go wrong يعني بدأ يمشي في مسار خاطئ بعد ولادة طفلهم الأول. I suggest that Ali much exercise to keep fit. طبعا exercise هتاخد verb too. As a freelance accountant, I can choose exactly which project to take off, take on, take after. يبقى طبعا هنا الأنسر to take on. إنه يتولى المسؤولية. I need to take some time to see my mother. يبقى طبعا to take some time off. No amount of money can make the death of your father. يبقى طبعا can make up for يعني نقدر تعوض موت الأب. I haven't made my mind which shirt I will buy. طبعا I haven't made up my mind. My little sister is very good at making stories. They are very wonderful. يبقى طبعا making up stories اللي هو تأليف القصص. All these old books, a lot of space in the office. طبعا اللي هو take up بمعنى بتشغل حيز كتير من الفراغ في المكتب. He sat on the bed to take his boots طبعا off اللي هو بمعنى يخلعها. I felt quite excited as the plane take off from Heathrow اللي هي تقلع من Heathrow. Aya became jealous when Jack's career started taking off هنا بمعنى إنه يزدهر أو ينطلق. Jane's been under a lot of since her mother's illness. يبقى طبعا a lot of stress. كانت واقعة تحت ضغط كتير. Pollution will in serious problems in the future. طبعا will result in وطبعا result in بتساوي lead بس lead بتاخد معاها preposition to. Parents should the amount of time that children use mobiles. يبقى طبعا should limit لازم يحددوا. My father is a man who always talks to others with smiley face. يبقى طبعا is very sociable. Most of journalists I know work freelance يعني بيعملوا حرين. They work independently يعني independently يعني مستقلين. Mr. حاتم is specialized in هو متخصص فيه. He is concerned with the structure of object لأن هو مهتم بترتيب الأشياء and concepts يعني المبادئ such as force أو اللي هي الأساسيات زي الفورس اللي هي القوة الانرجي الطاقة الماس الكتلة التشارج. طبعا كل ده في علم الفيزياء أو الفيزيكس. It is good to do exercise so I go running every day. طبعا it's good to do regular exercise. It takes 2 hours to the company where I work every day. يبقى طبعا to reach the company. Is Farouk Elbaz still the of the Center for Remote Sensing of Boston University. طبعا is still the director of. The word consultant اللي هو المستشار is similar in meaning يعني مساوية للمعنى طبعا لكلمة ايه؟ طبعا لكلمة expert أو الخبير. I need a or an to check my conditioner عشان يعني يبص على التكييف بتاعي. يبقى محتاجة scientist, activist, technician, politician. طبعا ايه محتاجة technician هو الفني. Blood is a common disease that could affect the heart. طبعا ده اللي هو ال blood pressure أو ضغط الدم. طبعا كلمة pressure دي صعبة. The manager to fire the worker from the company because he isn't punctual يعني ما هواش ملتزم بالايه بالمواعيد. يبقى the manager examined طبعا يعني يفحص. fixed, encouraged, threatened. طبعا هو threatened to fire يعني هدده انه يفصله. The child was when he saw the wild animal he was very afraid يعني كان afraid يبقى طبعا was horrified. We should never all the people while they are speaking. يبقى طبعا we should never interrupt أو نقاطعهم. A lot of famous species of birds and animals are with extinction. يعني مهددين بالانقراض. يبقى are threatened. يبقى طبعا are threatened ايه؟ are threatened with extinction. It is unwise to make that you cannot carry out. يبقى من غير الحكمة انك انك you can to make that you cannot carry out ان انت ما تقدرش تنفذها. يبقى to make threatening, threatens or threatened. يبقى طبعا انا محتاجة هنا النون. يبقى to make threats that you cannot carry out. The diplomat to ease tension between the two countries. felt. يبقى طبعا not filled to ease tension يعني فشل في ان هو يقلل التنشن او التوتر ما بين البلدين. The doctor gave him a referral to the يعني اداله تقرير او حاجة كان متابعة للايه طبعا to the consultant اللي هو الاستشاري. It was experienced it was a horrifying experience. طبعا experience هي خبرة. يبقى عن يبقى طبعا horrifying experience اللي هي الصفة هتبقى اللي هي بالING. Many of these teachers are struggling to financial. يبقى كثير من هؤلاء المعلمين بيكافحوا لأجل financially. يبقى to survival. يبقى طبعا to survive financially. We had a picnic on of the teams. يبقى طبعا التيمز ده اللي هو النهر، والنهر بيبقى له ضفة فبتاخد ليه to the banks of the teams. You will need a qualified to rewrite your to rewire your house. يبقى ده طبعا الواير اللي هو الأسلاك، وانت عشان هنا ريواير يعني تعيد أو تستبدل الأسلاك. يبقى انت محتاج هنا electrician, technical electrical. طبعا محتاجين electrician اللي هو الكهرباء. We can now see that he will like a fiction writer. We can now see that he was like a fiction writer. Scientist, science, scientifically. طبعا كلمة fiction بتاخد science. يبقى science fiction writer. There is a generation between the old and the young. ما بين الصغيرين والكبار. يبقى طبعا generation gap اللي هي فجوة في الأجيال. 3 efficient employees will get next month. طبعا efficient يعني كفء. يبقى هو will be promoted, prompted, tempted, promoted, attempted. وطبعا الانسر promoted اللي هو هيتم ترقيتهم. No one knows يعني محدش يعرف. of the fire, the police are still investigating the matter. طبعا انا عندي نوت preposition of يبقى بتاخد cause. My neighbor suffers from يعني بيعاني من the cells in his body started to grow in a way that is not normal. يعني الخلايا بتاعت جسمه بدأت تنمو بطريقة غير طبيعية، وطبعا دوت اللي هي الكانسر. I think that mobile phones can harm the health of people with chronic disease most. يبقى طبعا الفون marks, symbols, signs signals طبعا اللي هي الايه اللي هي signals او الاشارة. We need to have a new satellite dish because our old one is very bad. Install, done, remove, moved طبعا installed بمعنى انه يتركب او يتحط يتثبت. You must stop smoking. There is a between smoking and cancer. There is a contact, separation, leak, link. طبعا there is a link between smoking and cancer يعني في علاقة ما بين التدخين ومرض السرطان. Germs and bacteria اللي هي الجراثيم والبكتيريا are so we must wash our hands more often to avoid infectious disease. Are visible يعني مرئية, invisible, useful, tolerable. يبقى طبعا are invisible ما هم غير مرئيين عشان كده لازم نغسل ايدينا باستمرار. Stop eating a lot of fats and carbohydrates or you will more weight. طبعا الوزن بيكتسب يبقى تاخد verb again. The accused person was from prison. His innocence was proven. His innocence was proven يعني براءته أثبتت. يبقى the accused person هو الشخص المتهم was released, captured, arrested, escaped. يبقى طبعا was released يعني تم إطلاق سراحه. The word illness كلمة illness is similar in meaning to. طبعا كلمة illness هي السينونيم لكلمة disease. فهي كلمة similar to أو similar in meaning to يعني نفس معنى كلمة كذا. A lot of teachers believe that the repetition can help the learning. يعني اللي بعض الكثير من المدرسين بيعتقدوا ان التكرار بيساعد في عملية التعلم. طبعا not learning هتبقى learning process. Ali had some interesting while traveling. يبقى طبعا have أثناء السفر experiments. يبقى عند experience يبقى طبعا interesting experiences اللي هي خبرات أو التجارب الحياتية. Give me one good why I should help you. يبقى give me one good promise, cause, purpose or reason. طبعا بيديني سبب واحد يبقى one good reason. The department exists to help people but it often seems otherwise. يعني عندنا theory اللي هي النظرية أو theoretically يبقى طبعا هي theoretically نظريا. The department exists to help people إن القسم ده موجود عشان يساعد الناس ولكنه أحيانا لا يكون. I'm going to complain يعني هشتكي the manager about this. يبقى I'm going to complain of that too. يبقى أنا هشتكي ليه. يبقى I complain to the manager about this. Tariq fell off his bike this morning but fortunately يعني حسن الحظ he was injury and injured. يبقى طبعا fortunately he was uninjured. He the award for best actor and deservedly so. يبقى he gained one earned fee. طبعا اللي الأورد دي اللي هي الجائزة فهو بيفوز بالجائزة يبقى he won the award. لكن طبعا earned يعني يكسبها بيكسب مال مقابل العمل. gained يعني يكتسب. It is difficult to fight germs as they are طبعا invisible. Children grow fast and a lot of weight in their teenage years. طبعا gain a lot of weight. The company aims at improving to increase exports, including purchases, customers, producers. طبعا improving product اللي هي تحسن الانتاج او المنتجات بتاعتها. There are no factories in our. It has very little pollution. يبقى in our neighboring neighbor. يبقى طبعا النيبر ده اللي هو الجيران. يبقى هنا هو مفيش مصانع في الحي بتاعنا اللي هو neighborhood. My friend is in English. She speaks English smoothly like native speakers. يعني بتتكلم انجليزي بطلاقة زي النيتيف سبيكرز اللي هم المتكلمين الاصليين. طبعا is fluent in English. Ahmed a lot of experience when he worked for 10 years in that oil company. يبقى هنا وقت experience بتاخد ايه فعل طبعا gain experience. Iman is very, she has good relations with others. يبقى طبعا is very sociable لأن عندها علاقات كبيرة أو كويسة بالآخرين. I have a or am with the dentist. I think I will have 2 teeth filled. يعني أعتقد إن أنا هحشي ضرسين. يبقى I have sorry a or an appointment, replacement, improvement, development. طبعا هنا الappointment اللي هو الميعاد. My uncle has always been a worker whose work is always done with care. يعني دايما الشغل بتاعه بيتعمل بدقة. يبقى is a conscientious, careless, dishonest, lazy. طبعا هتبقى الإجابة consciousness يعني عنده وعي أو ضمير في عمله. عامل إيه رجل عامل واعي. I usually help my father, the accountant of the supermarket he runs. Make sure share do lose. طبعا الأكاونتنت بتاخد فعل إيه؟ يبقى طبعا بتاخد فعل إيه؟ بتاخد فعل do. My friend works as a manager for a big clothes company. Personal, present person. طبعا personal manager اللي هو مدير شؤون العاملين. Are you going to for the new job as a sales representative? يبقى طبعا apply for. We all admire Mr. Ali as he is known to speak English. يبقى he is known to speak fluent English. In case of having a, I could get a job easily and هقدر اخد أندادا وأنتم. How long have you been competing؟ يعني على قد ايه بتنافس الانترناشونال طبعا athletics set. This is a company everyone there knows their duties well. يعني كل فرد عارف واجباته كويس. يبقى this is a sociable company, well organized, fluent, well established. يبقى طبعا well organized company. This was destroyed when he was caught stealing someone. يعني يبقى هي طبعا reputation اللي هي سمعته اتدمرت لما اتظبط وبيسرق الفلوس. The book fair اللي هو معرض الكتاب attracted a lot of people from the towns and village. يبقى from the neighboring يبقى طبعا from the neighboring towns. Is perhaps the most important language skill. هي أهم إيه مهارة لغوية. Fluency, sufficiency, tendency or deficiency. طبعا هي fluency اللي هي الطلاق. He studied all his work, so I think he will get high marks. يبقى he studied all his work conscientiously, conscientious or careless. يبقى طبعا هنا وطن عندنا الحال يبقى ايه conscientiously. This company trains its aim well to do perfect work. يبقى طبعا هي بتدرب ايه موظفينها. يبقى طبعا they're ايه يبقى they're employees. نيلسون مانديلا became the of South Africa in 1994. طبعا became the president of South Africa. My grandfather left me a lot of money in his. يبقى جده تراكم فلوس كتير طبعا في الوصية، والوصية اللي هي wealth. Many people believe that social networking website use badly, suspect, affect, inspect, infect. طبعا affect بمعنى تؤثر عليك. Threads prepared in which Rasenthal would ask Princess Flavia to marry him. Paul طبعا القول اللي هي الحرف الرقص. Farmers usually go back home before the sun. طبعا دايما بيرجعوا البيت before the sun rises, sets. يبقى طبعا before the sun sets يعني قبل غروب الشمس. Mr. Osama is in the Egyptian embassy in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. يبقى is president, minister, diplomat, politician. يبقى طبعا is a diplomat. Fortunately يعني لحسن الحظ, Reuters' greatest novel was before his death was spread, published, deleted, came out. يبقى طبعا was published. I think that writing poetry is the best way to one's feeling. يبقى هي أفضل طريقة لكتابة الشعر، أفضل طريقة لإيه مشاعر الشخص. يبقى طبعا to express اللي هي بمعنى تعبر عن مشاعر. Our school arranged a trip to Alexandria. There we stayed at the youth hostel وقعدنا في بيت الشباب. The police officer asked us many questions about the accident, to inquire, secure, require, acquire. يبقى طبعا to inquire. The Great Pyramid is 137 meters in wide, weight, height, high. طبعا in height. The bread, well, if you don't cover it with something. يبقى البريد اللي هو الخبز سوف ايه إذا لم تغطيه بشيء. والوايدن harden, sharpen, lengthen. طبعا would harden and hinge. Even though she was in terrible pain, يعني رغم انها كانت في terrible pain يعني تشعر بألم شديد. Mary never lost the feeling. عمرها ما فقدت الايه انها تحدث. The wall will move. يبقى طبعا the will to live اللي هي الرغبة في انها تعيش. My grandfather left me some money in his will. Will here expresses about. يعني الكلمة will هنا بتعبر عن ايه. Determination اللي هو التصميم او الرغبة. illegal document اللي هي مستند قانوني. what somebody wants يعني ما يريده الشخص. future اللي هو المستقبل. طبعا هي هنا وصية تبقى هنا ايه legal document. what a it has never been so rainy so, we can't go out today. يبقى what a girl blizzard fall downfall. طبعا هنا what rainy يعني ممكن يبقى دي طبعا ايه هتبقى downfall. I won't be able to attend the meeting. مش هقدر احضر الميتنج. يبقى طبعا هنا ايه unfortunately. Who is that your brother was with this morning. follow fellow. طبعا هي اللي هي fellow اللي هو الرفيق او الصديق. May how long I had stayed in London. May how long I had stayed in London the previous day or the previous year. طبعا دي جملة في indirect speech. يبقى هنستخدم inquired, acquired, required, told. يبقى طبعا inquired بمعنى تسألت أو استفسر. He wanted me to explain what is that problem, where did the problem start, who takes care of the baby, what the main problem was. طبعا المواد دي برضه جملة في المبني في الجملة غير مباشرة، يبقى he wanted me to explain يبقى what the problem was. طب اشمعنى الجملة دي خدتها؟ لأن أنا هنا في حالة الانdirect speech أولا الفيرب ما يجيش في الأول، يعني الفيرب بيتبع الفاعل، يبقى في الحالة دي رقم A ورقم B الاثنين مستبعدين، يبقى أنا ابتدي أدور على إيه؟ على C و D. طبعا C هنا بيقول لي who take care of the baby ده question، وأنا في صيغة الانdirect فما بحطش الجملة في صيغة إيه السؤال. She asked him to do that for her. She asked him to do that for her. That for me. She asked him. يبقى أنا هنا في الدايركت هتبقى إيه؟ يبقى do that for me. يبقى would you do ولا will you do ولا do that ولا do something. طبعا do that مش هتنفع لأن في that فوق، يبقى هتحط نوت ايه؟ will you do ولا would you do. طبعا هو هنا طلب، يبقى الطلب هيبقى بايه؟ would you. She asked him. He was going out. Which what whether طبعا she asked him whether he was going out. The old lady asked me where is the bank, was the bank is being, the bank was, the bank was. My brother has on a computer course recently. يبقى has ايه؟ طبعا عندي هنا on يبقى طبعا enrolled on. Punctual and efficient workers must get an increase in salary. يبقى must ايه اللي هو طبعا punctual and efficient اللي هم الكفء والملتزمين بالمواعيد. Discouragement, development, punishment, promotion. يبقى طبعا يبقى they must get a promotion يعني لازم يحصلوا على الترقية. My father worked in Cairo Oil Company for 20 years until he at the age of 60. طبعا في نهاية سن 60 يبقى ايه؟ retired. I was made A when the company I worked for closed. يبقى I was made A لما الشركة اللي بعمل فيها اتقفلت. يبقى طبعا هتبقى ايه؟ redundant اللي هو ايه؟ أصبحت عاطل. Most companies courses for their employees to improve their skills. They agree provide طبعا provide اللي بتوفر لهم. I made up my mind to spend the weekend in my village. أنا قررت إن أنا أقضي weekend in my village. Make up my mind is a synonym of يعني هي synonym لإيه؟ believe, doubted, decided, refused. طبعا هنا made up بمعنى decided. You need to retrain and improve your skill to remain employable, employment. يبقى طبعا to be employable يعني طيب عشان تفضل مطلوب للعمل. We should science and scientists in all fields of life. We should appreciate, calculate, fabricate, humiliate. طبعا we should appreciate لازم نقدر العلم والعلماء. My father looked for job for 3 hours every evening to increase his income. Free time, a part-time, a full-time, spare time. طبعا هنا a part-time job يعني لوقت بس. Several banks are providing for the housing program. يبقى طبعا are يعني بيوفروا طبعا الفلوس اللي هي financial fiancé fiancé finance يبقى نقعد are providing ايه طبعا finance اللي هي المالية. They are threatening to make a half of the workforce promotion creative redundant job. هما طبعا بيهددوا انهم هيخلوا نص الايه العاملين او القوى العاملة ايه طبعا redundant يعني عاطلة. He is an efficient employee. He deserves to get طبعا هو efficient يبقى ايه to get promotion. The lack of skills some young men into low paid jobs. lack of skills اللي هو ايه نقص المهارات بيخلي بعض الشباب بيحولهم الى ايه وظائف بأجور ضعيفة. يبقى forced demanded need term. يبقى نوع the lack of skills some young men into low paid jobs. يبقى طبعا هنا forced some young men. The company needs qualified staff so it provides special courses. يبقى awfully terribly highly يبقى طبعا هو needs highly qualified staff. For our children's education is great. We hope they will be successful citizen. يبقى our concern. My brother attends all his and studies them day by day, and the discussions, debates, disagreement, lectures. طبعا lectures اللي هي المحاضرات. Please stop making noise. I can't on what I'm doing. يبقى I can't concentrate on يعني مش قادر أركز فيه. I have really enjoyed watching the pharaohs golden parade. استمتعت بمشاهدة موكب المومياوات الذهبي. I am so of my country. يبقى I am طبعا so proud of. I am sure the police will clear the mystery of my neighbor who has disappeared. طبعا clear up أو يستجلي يعني يستوضح الأمور. The government is interested in modernizing roads as the means of to decrease road accidents. طبعا بتحدث الطرق وطبعا وسائل المواصلات اللي هي means of transport. There is always a between generation due to the different ways of thinking. طبعا في عندنا gap اللي هي بيفرق. The police try to solve the mysterious crime. Mysterious is an antonym of اللي هو بقى opposite of expensive, unclear, obvious, difficult. طبعا نعتبر opposite of نعتبر opposite is obvious. History books are references. Imaginary, fictional, non-fiction, fiction. طبعا اللي هي كتب التاريخ هل هي كتب تخيلية؟ طبعا ده كله fictional برضه يعني خيالي. non-fiction أو fiction طبعا هي non-fiction. Did you know who over Europe after the Romans? Who freed, ruled, captured, damaged. يبقى طبعا who ruled over Europe يعني من حكم أوروبا. الأهلي has already the Malik by 6-1 has already beat one defeated army. طبعا هو defeated the Malik. The food in the canteen is usually good. Quietly, quite. طبعا هو quite good. طبعا quite اللي هي الإيقاع طبعا هو مش good. My dad always goes to work. A bus. طبعا ما دام في article يبقى ما باخدش بون. يبقى ما دام في هنا article يبقى my ما تجيش. يبقى عندي يا in يا on. طبعا عندي هنا a bus. الباص ده مواصلة كبيرة يبقى تاخد ايه؟ on a bus. in بتبقى مع الكار والتاكسي. My new book has come recently. يبقى هو طبعا come out اللي هو بمعنى خرج يعني للايه؟ أصبح متاح للايه؟ للبيع. He led a life with few friends. يبقى عندنا يعني عاش حياة ايه؟ وحيدة. يبقى alone, lonely, only, lone. طبعا يبقى هي lonely life يعني حياة ايه؟ وحيدة. I wanted to clear any misunderstanding you might still have. يبقى طبعا عندنا clear up بمعنى أوضح أي سوء تفاهم ممكن يكون حصل. Two bottles were from the drug cupboard. يبقى طبعا were missing. were missing يعني كانت ايه؟ مفقودة أو ضيعة. She faced the start of packing the new plan or losing her job. طبعا تبقى ايه؟ I didn't need to go out. You take photographs here. It's not allowed. طبعا it's not allowed and you mustn't. The large temple was so that at certain times of the year the rays of the rising sun would illuminate the temple's statue. Even though the large temple was hidden, stayed, positioned, appeared. يعني كان بحيث إن at certain time of the year في وقت معين من السنة أشعة الشمس بتسقط على وجه التمثال. وطبعا هنا was positioned يعني كان وضع أو صمم بوضع معين عشان يحصل. My father a long distance to his work every day. The train takes 2 hours to at least. Communicate, commutes, contacts, connects طبعا commutes يعني بيسافر. I was late so I the first lecture. يبقى اتأخرت so I missed the first lecture. The statue is massive. Massive is an antonym of. يبقى هي المضاد أو الopposite of it. طبعا massive معناها huge يبقى the opposite of tiny. Artists usually sculpture from massive blocks of marble or rock. Artists usually carve, cross, tear يبقى طبعا carve sculptures. An advanced country should have good scientific research, basis or bus. طبعا الأنسر هتبقى ايه؟ basis. The company has been licensed for oil in the area. يبقى to dig, drag, drop, drill. طبعا to drill هي تحفر عشان البترول. Are you still moving to the city? يبقى are you still considering, thinking, believing, hoping. يبقى طبعا are you still طبعا considering moving to the city. الأزهر road tunnel which is 2,665 meters long and has a of 9.635 meters helps to protect the Islamic monuments in Cairo. طبعا ده الطريق. يبقى عندنا ده الطول بتاعه كذا وايه ده size diameter circle or length is 8.35 meters help to protect the Islamic monuments in Cairo. طبعا ده اللي هو التانل الروت تانل ده اللي هو طريق النفق. فالنفق ده يبقى ايه؟ يبقى ده اللي هو الديامتر اللي هو bright lights always the front of the bus at night. يبقى طبعا always في اليمين. The charity hopes to sell million pounds to build a new hospital for children. Here the charity hopes to arouse. طبعا answer هتبقى ايه؟ raise 5 million pounds. The company decided to the salaries of its employees to by 10%. arouse طبعا هنا تبقى بمعنى raise اللي هي بمعنى ايه؟ يعني. He has attained the highest in his music exam, grade, degree, license, disagree. He has attained the highest age, the highest degree. He has attained the highest in his music exam. He attained the highest degree. There are some amazing of engineering around the world. There are amazing works, work, job, career. There are some amazing works of engineering. The Great Wall of China is the longest structure never built. The president has called for massive to rebuild the country's economy. يبقى what called for massive طبعا investment اللي هي الاستثمار. There was a cut and all the lights went up. كل الأنوار اتقطعت. There was a stress, a force, power, pressure. يبقى طبعا هنا power cut قطع الطاقة. Technology and good management. That's a technology and good management. That's a winning funnel, collection, combination, funnel. That's a winning طبعا combination. Every year the cells under the bark of a tree and they become new lengthen, deepen, shorten, harden. طبعا هي harden بتبتدي تنشف اللي هي طبعا اللي هي بتبقى خارجية من الشجرة بتبتدي تنشف وتكون خشب جديد. The street where I live اللي هو المكان اللي أنا بعيش فيه is 20 meters in. طبعا ده شارع يبقى 20 متر wide, width wide, height high طبعا wide. Turpentine is a type of oil used for making paint more liquid or it from clothes, brushes, etc. يبقى improving, approving, removing, moving. يبقى طبعا removing it. You should read this book. It has information on healthy food, ordinary, valueless, valuable foods. يبقى طبعا it has valuable information. We can the age of a tree by counting its annual rings. يبقى we can طبعا calculate. Did you know that oil can be from plants, extracted, contracted, or contained. So did you know that oil can be extracted from? The university hopes to its ties with the local community. يبقى hopes to lengthen, strengthen, weaken, shorten. يبقى طبعا strengthen its ties يعني تقوي الروابط. Weaken into a tree to make a deep, narrow hole to count rings. You can drill, drag, drop, excavate. Now we can drill into a tree. ده covers the trunk of a tree اللي بيغطي الtrunk طبعا اللي هو الايه التب. My feet sank into the soft ground. The word soft is opposite in meaning too. كلمة soft هي الopposite لإيه؟ يبقى طبعا soft is opposite of hard. Carpets are available in several different widths, widened. يبقى طبعا هنا different widths. Their friendship soon into love, deepened deeply. يبقى طبعا deepened يعني تعمق. A series of attacks have fears of more tolerance, violence. يبقى نود series of attacks اللي هي مجموعة الهجمات أو سلسلة الهجمات. have a fears of more violence يعني أثارت مخاوف من العنف المتزايد. narrowness, shortened, lengthened, sharpened. طبعا هنا have sharpened violence. Most plastic we use is made with, made from, made in. طبعا البلاستيك يبقى is made from oil. The extensive use of fertilizers is to the environment يبقى طبعا is harmful too. Why don't you your ideas with your colleagues? Why don't you compare your ideas يعني انت تقارن أفكارك بأفكار سابقة. Pianos, violin and drums are all musical طبعا instruments. He made a complaint to the manager because of the bad treatment. Stinging. طبعا الأنسر طبعا stinging compliment. What he said was, I couldn't help slapping him. يبقى طبعا برضو إن what he said was stinging. I couldn't help slapping him. Being recognized in the street is part and parcel of being a celebrity. Celebrate طبعا of being a celebrity إن أنت تبقى شخص مشهور. We should encourage our children طبعا to tell the truth. In a lot of countries, many businesses have closed. There is economic because of the coronavirus pandemic. Development, welfare, depression, ambition طبعا economic depression اللي هو الكساد الاقتصادي. The moment trade gained a lot of all over the world, ability, publicity, celebration, regulation طبعا a lot of publicity. While the old man was lying in the garden, he was by a scorpion. طبعا he was stung by طبعا يعني اتلدع بالسكوربيون العقرب. My uncle worked as a war for الأهرام newspaper during the October war. يبقى عندنا corresponding state. يبقى نوت ايه works as a war correspondent اللي هو المراسل ايه أسهل. We never hold books, we may need them later, count on, look after, throw away, think of. يبقى طبعا never throw away. Greedy, who increase prices illegally or monopolize goods should be punished. Greedy merchants, consumers, customers, buyers. طبعا المارشنت اللي هم التجار. My neighbors are worried because they don't know where their children. My neighbors are worried because they don't know where their children's kidnapped, missed, lost, hide. Where their children missed. Do you believe that private hospitals should children with disabilities for free? Here, try, treat, survive, around, treat, and fight. Muhammad Salah has become ARN, طبعا become a celebrity. Our project was a great, we are happy with the profits, يبقى طبعا great success. The thieves played to steal the money from the citizen, paid tax, pills, tax, celebrities. يبقى طبعا paid tax. My uncle's job is to buy and sell goods. He is طبعا a merchant اللي هو التاجر. My uncle's job is to buy and sell goods, and he is a merchant. At least I managed to him not to smoke again. So I managed to طبعا persuade him من أقنعه. Many may lead to committing illegal action such as forgery, robbery, and murder. طبعا النوت ايه ممكن تؤدي إلى ارتكاب أفعال غير قانونية زي السرقة والقتل والصبر. honesty اللي هي الأمانة. greed طمع. faith القدر. satisfaction اللي هي الرضا يعني. فطبعا هنا الجريد اللي هو القدر. China has experienced a growth in population اللي هي population اللي هي طبعا عدد السكان. phenomenally. طبعا عندي هنا كلمة growth اللي هو النمو. فأنا هنا هو باخد الصفة اللي هي phenomenal growth اللي هو ايه نمو واضح. The sun is completely in a solar eclipse because the moon passes between the earth and the sun, taken, plucked, disappeared, or appeared. هو طبعا completely disappeared. Lack of rain ونقص المطر for a long period causes drought. drought طبعا اللي هي الجفاف. وطبعا ناخد بالنا ان هو من drought اللي بالايه وبالاو ان هي طبعا الدراوت اللي هو الجفاف اللي هي موجودة بالايه بالاو. The water from drain is quickly in a sandy site. يبقى طبعا is absorbed يعني بيمتص بسرعة. Alexandria lies in Egypt. يبقى in north, southern. يبقى ايه lies in ايه يبقى طبعا not in ايه Alexandria. يبقى lies in northern Egypt. Heavy could result in floods in some areas. يبقى heavy drought, heat drought, rainfall. طبعا اللي هي ايه rainfall هو اللي يؤدي الفيضان. Or N is a natural spring that sends our hot water suddenly into the air from a hole in the ground. طبعا ده اللي هو الجسر أو النبع. Floods اللي هي الفيضانات in some areas because of heavy rains. Disappear flow cause occur. طبعا هي ايه occur؟ الفيضانات بتحدث في بعض الأماكن بسبب الهيفي رين. Is an electrical charge caused by imbalances between storm clouds and the ground or with the clouds themselves. طبعا ده اللي هو الايه اللي هو بيقول لي عبارة عن شحنة كهربية، تفريغ شحنات كهربية بيتسببها عدم التوازن ما بين السحب and the ground والأرض or within the clouds themselves أو ما بين الكلاودز ذات نفسها. وده طبعا اللي هو اللايتنينج. eclipse of the sun and the moon are strange natural. The eclipses of the sun and the moon are strange natural phenomenal. طبعا هنا هو دول ظواهر يعني حاجتين، فدول جمع والجمع هي الايه الفعل. بكده نكون وصلنا لنهاية الفيديو بتاعنا النهارده. اتمنى يا رب انكم تكونوا استفدتم وان يكون الشغل بتاعنا واضح بالنسبه لنا وصح. Until we meet again, goodbye and good luck. And before you go, don't forget to make like, share and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.